Karen.
Okay.
You're up.
Right. Can I get through? Can I talk from here? That's okay. All right, good morning. Good morning. You guys are coming back strong, the Sunrise Rotary, making rounds to all of them. How many do you have online this morning?
It looks like only 2,
Okay.
but they couldn't hear for a long time. So I think they can hear now. Nod, Claire, if you can hear. You guys, give me a thumbs up.
Okay, we want to save lots of time for Amy. So just want to fill you in on a few things happening. I haven't been here since the election. So we had an election in November. I do suspect we'll maybe get final numbers today, actually, but we only had about 1,000 ballots countywide still to vote, so I don't think things will be changing. So for those of you that supported our utility users tax, thank you. That's a tax on all of our utilities that has been in place for about 26 years now. And we didn't ask for an increase. We just wanted to keep it status quo, but it really does fund very, very core services and streets and police and parks and rec. So thank you for your support of that. We will be swearing in the 2 council members, which appear to be Kimberly White and Meredith Matthews. So we'll be swearing those 2 4-year terms in on Thursday, December 15th, so in a couple of weeks. And then it does appear as though the flag measure is passing by about 130 votes right now. So the ballot initiative was for Arcata to fly the earth flag on top. There is some incongruency that the council will need to wrestle with, and it's okay to laugh. I think this is a safe space. I tell all of my staff that, this is the little stuff. So we, in so many ways. And I know it's symbolic for some in a real positive way, symbolic in others in a very insulting way. And I think we saw that in the vote. It was very, very divided. At 100, maybe 130 split, that's not a mandate for the council. That's going to be a hard question to wrestle with. There is incongruency with state law, and we have already received a couple of calls of individuals who I think will legally challenge it in Superior Court, which we would not be surprised by. So the council will have those decisions to make. Come after the swearing in, they will have a conversation about that evening. Their choices will be, and that's a hard one, right? Do you follow the will of the voters? Because at this point it does look like that initiative is passed. Do you preemptively ask the courts to render a decision? So courts will not render a decision on the legality of any ballot initiative, local or state, until after a vote is cast, right? So you can't go to the courts ahead of time, even though our attorney's impartial analysis says this is, incongruent with state law. The courts won't render a decision until after an election. So the council could preemptively go to the courts and ask for a ruling on that, or you wait until somebody decides to file a petition with the court to garner a ruling, which I think we'll probably get even before maybe the council has a chance to preemptively ask. So Dave Meserve, I'll say to his credit, has agreed if somebody does go to the court and petition for reversal, he has agreed to either raise funds or to find attorneys so that would be a cost borne by the city. And he's also agreed to pay for any flags and changes to the poles that we would need to make that happen. So, but that could be something that you see the council's going to have to decide in the interim. I mean, I assume we'll have a court decision one way or another, but in that interim period, how do those flags fly? So you might see a change after the 16th, was what I would say on that. Other things happening.
But more importantly, has the national news media called yet?
Not yet. I mean, I am so surprised. And I subscribe to a lot of statewide kind of, local election newsy little things, and nobody picked this up, which really surprised me. Really, other obscure things. It won't be long.
No.
Fox News will pick it up.
No. So also, since I've seen you, community ambassadors are up and running. Thank you, Luke, for that. But they are around town. Please stop and talk with them and visit. They're doing great work, and they're getting great insights, I think, into what's happening out and around in the downtown area. So it'll be great to have them through the holiday season as we work with businesses to try to keep sales really high moving into 2023. We also did finalize our award for phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant. So that is awarded at $52 million to Wallen Construction. They have moved trailers on site. They are starting to break ground. And the most exciting, well, lots of exciting pieces. The most exciting piece for our staff is all of the really aging infrastructure that they've been bailiwicking together for the last 20 years is going to be replaced. The most exciting piece, I think, for the community is to see us go from chemical disinfection of our wastewater to UV disinfection, and to be removing that chemical from ultimately making its way into Humboldt Bay. So that's a long, long-term goal for this community from an environmental standpoint to move to UV disinfection. So absolutely wonderful to see that underway. Are there any questions or things that you wanted me to touch on?
I see a lot of work up in Yorktown at the Fairwinds Hotel, there's fences going up.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be like a low-income thing, or is it going back to being a hotel again?
My understanding right now, so this could change tomorrow, it was purchased by a combination of 3 local individuals that purchased the building together. Their desire is to keep it in short stay rental through Arcata, so kind of like a little, Airbnb but hotel.
Okay.
And so they're trying to prep it for there. Now I know Cal Poly Humboldt is still desperate for housing, so at some point I would not be surprised if we don't see that convert, into something that supports Cal Poly because it's right there. So, but right now they're holding to try to get it back open as a hotel, which would be also great in that area. I think you're seeing a combination. They are doing fencing, and then I also think Caltrans is doing a little bit of fencing, and I assume that they've helped facilitate that, which will be great up in that whole area by the fence.
The fencing's pretty robust, and it goes over.
Exactly, yeah, so that would all be in Caltrans right away, so I think they're working with Caltrans to do some additional fencing, so that would be good. We did meet with the university this last week, and right now, application numbers are real high coming into next year. But everybody asks me, are you going to be able to handle the growth? And I really keep trying to spread the word that the growth of Cal Poly is going to be slow and nothing that we need to panic over. Stephanie says it's going to be a little faster.
No, I appreciate your understanding of that.
So, just this week I got a call from the Times Standard. I don't know what he'll write, but, the first question is a wastewater treatment plant holding with all the new students? Cal Poly has 119 new students this fall over last fall. Some of those are housed in the Comfort Inn, which removes those people that would have been in that hotel. There is no impact to our wastewater treatment plant. I am hopeful that we will have maybe 300 new students next fall. That still leaves Cal Poly 2,500 students less than their high in just 2015-16 fiscal year.
It's going to be a little more than that, just saying.
Okay, I hope so. I'll go higher. My prediction, I'll go 350 is my prediction.
We have 350, do we have 400?
We saw Wednesday that they're patching M Street. They were putting
Patching
cold
M
patching,
Street, yeah.
same because I asked about it a couple months ago, and
Yes.
it's very nice.
It's just a patch. I mean, we are going to try to, but it is making its way on the list for more rehab.
Small children managers.
Yes, there are some big potholes there. All right, other questions? Okay. Back to you, Vanessa. Okay, I'll be here if you have questions.